Welcome. I am excited to be here. I'm obviously not at the hub, but I'm hoping that everyone that would have been there with me today will tune in because I would love to hear your voices and see your little faces on the little picture thing. So I'm going to give everyone a moment to tune in. So this is Body, Mind, Spirit. I'm Jane, and normally we're at the Promise Resource Network hub, and apparently they're doing something there. So the hub is closed today. So I don't get to see everybody. So as you hop on, please say hi so I know you're here joining. That would be awesome sauce. Please say hello. So it's a little gray and cold. Good morning, mother. Yeah, let me know when y'all tune in, join in, please. It's very interesting. It's very foggy, and it's not quite drizzly here, but it's really foggy. The mornings have been, the cloud cover has been heavy in the mornings. So today it's very heavy and low cloud cover on this Tuesday. Yeah, like what is today? It's Tuesday. So this is Body, Mind, Spirit, and I want to check in with everybody. So like I said, as you hop on, please say hello. Hey, good morning, Lisa. How are you? I know it's weird not being at the hub, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. It's like my Tuesday thing. So yeah, misting rain up in the southern Indiana. So I'm curious, y'all. Will you do me a favor and take a breath or two and just kind of scan your body and let me know how your physical body is feeling in a very physical way. So, like if it feels electric, if it feels zingy, like an adjective, if it feels heavy, if it feels open, like what is your body feeling like right now? I'm going to check in with me while you check in with yours. Apparently, I had to burp. Okay. My body feels like it's vibrating. Not like anxiety and not like an anticipation, but it's got like an effervescence to it. Okay, Lisa, yours is feeling electric. Really, that's interesting because similar, right? Ooh, okay, okay. Is it feeling electric all over, or is it feeling like surface? Or yours is vibrating too. Is it like full body vibration, or is it like superficial, like the outermost, or is it your inner guts that are feeling vibrational? And as you're tuning in, y'all, hi. I'm checking in with your bodies. Well, I'm not actually checking in with your bodies. You're checking in with your bodies. If you'll let me know how your body is feeling right now, like check in with your body. Hey, good morning, Jeremy. It's good to see you, friend. I'm happy that you're here. So yours is a full body vibration. So is mine. So while you all share this with me, just because I'm going to share this because it's my personal story of what happened this morning. So I woke up. So I'll start off with last night. Last night I did some EFT. It's an emotional freedom technique of tapping, and it releases programs and traumas and beliefs that basically aren't serving me. And you can do it around any topic, and I've been doing it for years. I learned about it in like 2017, and I had a migraine, and one of my friends taught me how to do it. And so I did this tapping on myself back in 2017, and my migraine went away like that. And I was like, well, that is something, because that happened for my physical body. So anyway, so I did a session last night, and it's like an hour-long session. And so my entire energy field before I went to bed to rest, to recover and restore, like completely shifted, and it was so good, right? So I wake up this morning, and because my energy field was so like aligned, better, healed, I don't know the words, it felt better. It'd been cleaned out, if you will. I woke up this morning with a lot of like visions So I tend to get prophetic visions. And so I was seeing all this stuff through like timelines and humanity and what's coming and like all this stuff. Yeah, self-healing. And like all this stuff kind of came into my awareness this morning, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of information. I can handle that information. But what I needed to do is I needed to move it through my body because I knew that I couldn't store it. So I turned the music on and I danced. And I shook a lot of it out. So I feel like I've been like pressure washed from the inside out. Like I feel like my energetic body has gone through this like cleansing system for the day. It's great. And it's body, mind, spirit, so we can talk about all this. Can y'all share with me anything? Like if you're like, that sounds weird, or if you're like, it sounds cool. You know, anything, that'd be cool. So yeah, y'all, we're moving into a full moon tomorrow. It tends to amplify spaces where the light gets to shine. And that's what I wanted to talk about, was adding more light. So, you know, we are in the darkest days, right? Until December 21st, we're in the darkest days. We have more darkness, there's a fuzzy, more darkness than light in every single day. And it's like that, yeah, it's a great time to like go inward and rest. And it's also a really great time to like get this like light, this flashlight, and kind of look in the darkness into the nooks and crannies and like see what's there from a totally different perspective. For example, so if you think about your room that you're in right now, okay, you have shadows, right? You have dark spots maybe underneath the sofa or underneath the desk, all these crevices that the light that's coming in isn't shining on naturally, right? So it gets dark, you're going to turn on a lamp or a light. It's probably going to look similar, just with different colors. Now, if you had all the lights off in the room that you're in and you only had a flashlight, you're not going to see anything except for what you're going to look at, right? And what you're going to be looking at is going to look even brighter than if the room were just in regular daylight. Does that make sense? So I feel like this is a time where it's like we can shine this light, our awareness, our focus. Like, what are we going to look at? We can look at these like shadow parts. We can look at these dark spots, look at ourselves while we rest, and to see it in a new light, in a bright light, in a light of like kindness, or a light of compassion, or a light of grace, or whatever that is, you know, not necessarily a light of judgment, because that's no fun. Y'all, it's like if you have a flashlight and you look underneath your sofa and you're like, oh my God, I'm such a bad person because I've got so many dust bunnies. You don't need that type of judgment. Like, that's not cool, right? It's not. But if you look under it and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize that so many dust bunnies could live under there. Now I'm going to have an inspired action. I'm going to go get a broom. Look at that. Next thing you know, you might be rearranging your whole entire living room, and now you just changed everything in your life, right? Everything just shifted in your entire life because you chose to look somewhere in this darkness. So I'm kind of seeing that in this now. And what I want to talk about when we add this light, when we see these things, when we notice the dust bunnies under the sofa, right? What are you going to do about it? That's the question. That's the question that I'm posing today is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about the stuff that you find in yourself, because it's everything is within, that you just don't like? So let's talk about some things that we may find that we don't like. We'll start there. So maybe you have addictive patternings. Maybe you are in a lack mindset. Maybe you feel like you're never enough, or you're never going to have enough. You're never going to be enough. You're never going to get what you want, right? Clean. We expand more on that, Lisa. What do you mean when you say that? I'd like to know more. because I know that has to do with all of this. Um, what are these inside and out? Yes, right? Yeah, this like the cleaning of all the things. Can't just like scrub your face and be like, look how clean I am. Meanwhile, you're eating like McMeals all the time. Like, you gotta take care of yourself from the inside. Yes, exactly. On so many levels is that true. So when you shine a light on yourself, when you're really truthful and you're looking at yourself, what are some of the things that what are some of your dust bunnies? We'll start with the body. What are some of the dust bunnies of your body? The stuff that you're like, yeah, I really never eat fruits and vegetables, or I never drink water, or, maybe some of the dust bunnies for your body is that you never take it outside to get fresh air. Maybe some of the dust bunnies for your body are you neglect your body. You don't move it. You're able to move it and you just choose not to. So these dust bunnies are things that they're not bad, but they're just things that you just don't necessarily want to have, right? So I'm curious if you have any dust bunnies around or in your body. I love this analogy. That you would like to be vulnerable and share. I would like to know. Because y'all, it's you and me. I don't have my friends at the hub right now. So I'm counting on your all's participation. I mean, I can talk for an hour, don't get me wrong. But it's not as much fun as when I'm talking with you. So some of my own personal dust bunnies. Ooh, thank you. Don't want nothing to jump on me while I'm trying to clean up inside. Nothing can. Some of my own like personal physical dust bunnies are that like I'll skip meals and I have multiple reasons on why I skip meals, right? Well, I haven't been to the grocery in a month, so I just don't have the money for that. Okay, so I can snack. I've got beans and rice. Like, okay, I'm good. Right. So I'll justify not taking full care of my physical body, or I don't want to spend the time. I'm too busy to make a meal, right? I'm too busy to make a meal, so I'll just eat another peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? So these are parts of me that I just need to shine a light on. I don't need to judge me for eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all the time or not having time or whatever that is, right? If I smoke a cigarette a day and I've really wanted to quit, well, that's some self-harm, right? I'm doing harm to myself by smoking cigarettes. So if I'm able to see that and just acknowledge it, like, yeah, you know what? I am doing this. Now, then I can get real with myself and ask myself, why am I doing it? Right? Why am I not eating 3 meals a day? Or why am I smoking cigarettes? Or why am I drinking alcohol? Like, ask myself why I'm hurting my body. Well, it's because I don't care enough. Ooh, that's a reality. Or maybe I don't believe that I have enough strength or support to stop. Maybe I feel like if I quit these patterns, if I change, then my whole friend network is going to change. People might think I'm nuts. People aren't going to understand me. I might get rejected if all of a sudden I stop going out to this place with this person and I say, no, I need to go to this other place. Right? So these are areas that when we look at the dust bunnies, right? When we see this stuff of how be real with ourselves, like how am I taking care of myself or how am I not taking care of myself? How am I hurting myself? And not judging me for doing it, rather being really real with why I'm doing it. Is it that I actually feel unworthy of feeling good? Maybe I don't know that I deserve to feel good in my body. Maybe every time I felt good in my body, something bad happened. So now I have this subconscious response of it's not safe to feel good in my body. So these are areas that we get to shine this light on. And, it's a great time of year for that. It's full moon. We're in the winter about Lisa says, sorry, right? But still might get afraid sometimes. Oh yeah, fear. And fear. I think that's like the answer to that, right? It's like, well, what are we looking at? Well, what I found was fear. I found that, so say I'm not taking care of myself and I find out that the underlying thing is that I'm unworthy and undeserving. I don't deserve to feel good. I'm not worthy of feeling good. Well, what if the underlying thing is I'm afraid? My underlying dust bunnies that have created these patterns of behavior, maybe it's just fear. And being able to be like, okay, you know what? I am afraid. That's what it is. I'm experiencing fear. And not going into the loop of like, I'm afraid of blah, 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 like all the billions of things, because we already know all that. But like, just to focus on what fear is, right? If it's, I choose to continue to drink alcohol on a daily basis, and if I'm real with myself, it's because I don't want to have a clear head at night because nighttime feels lonely for me. So maybe my underlying thing is loneliness. So I can focus on loneliness, right? I can focus on fear. I can focus on unworthiness. I can focus on these things. Mama Jane says, need to eat more healthy food. Okay, so dive into that. Why do you not? Like, what's the underlying cause of why not? Is it lack of care? Is it a lack mentality, right? So, lack is like a rejection of prosperity and abundance or whatever. So when we can look at these things on how we actually treat our body, just being real with ourselves and looking at these really underlying reasons why we're doing it without judgment. Nobody needs to judge the dust bunnies. They're just there. They've just accumulated over time. But then what do we do about it? That's where we make the change, right? We can see the dust bunnies all day, but it's not until my ass gets the broom and cleans it out of the way and makes the choice that something actually changed. So now I'm looking at this thing. So say it's fear. Okay. So Lisa, you mentioned fear. Okay, well, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if I do something, that something will attack me. Something will come and get me. I'll get hurt in some way if I take care of myself. I have fear that something bad is going to happen. We'll say that. That'll be the example, unless one of y'all give me something else. So it's like, okay, well, now I see the fear. I see that it's fear. Well, now what? How do we clean that out? Hurt. Yeah. The fear of being hurt, right? Oh, that's such a good one. And you know what's really funny? I'm so glad you said that, Lisa. We will fear getting hurt so much that you know what we do? We hurt ourselves every single day to prevent someone else from hurting me. Y'all, that's funny. We humans do funny stuff. Our subconscious is hilarious the way we think we're protecting ourselves. It's like, if you want to be in a relationship, you just want to have an intimate partnership because you love people. You love this. But if we have a fear of being hurt, for example, so we don't go into relationships at all. So that means every day I feel this like longing, this desire, this emptiness because I'm not having what I want. And it's because I'm afraid of getting what I want, because then I might get hurt. So we end up creating this really interesting loop and pattern of behavior where it's like, I'm going to be afraid of what can hurt me, so much so that I'm just going to hurt myself. Funny how that works. So then we bring that into the awareness. So that's a beautiful thing right there. For most of us humans, just putting this stuff in our awareness, like letting our third eye see that stuff, that's when we can start to make a change. And it doesn't mean we have to do anything differently, right? Maybe not today. Maybe it is today. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Can't mess it up. It's your life. You're good. You're golden. It's fine. But the interesting thing, so we have this fear of being hurt because y'all, we've all been hurt. Y'all, If I had $1 for every relationship that hurt me, I wouldn't be a millionaire by any stretch because I haven't been in that many relationships. And I would definitely have enough to get a gas tank, a gas tank. Maybe the next person I meet's gonna be named Tank. Not really. That'd be weird. Anyway, but yeah, a tank of gas, not a gas of tank. Sorry, I just saw this like meat neck man with like bad gas, and he's farting all the time. And he's like, "My name's Tank, and I got gas. You wanted a gas tank?" Y'all, I'm telling you, I literally am. Stuff that I see in my head. It's so fun. Sober. That's the fun part. Anyway, I would dull this shit down when I was taking like drugs and alcohol and stuff all the time and like distracting myself on TV. I would literally be stopping this really cool ass imagination that I have. I love my imagination. It cracks me up. Anyway, and there he is. Oh, there he is. No, just kidding. Okay, anyway, I digress. Let's bring it back in. Let's be serious. Okay. So, I'm so glad y'all are here with me right now. Thank you. So anyway, so yeah, when we see that what we're doing is, say, fear-based, so we're shining a light on that fear. The fear is the dust bunnies. Okay. Well, maybe we don't have a broom, right? For this dust bunny analogy. Maybe we don't have a broom. Maybe we don't have a vacuum. Maybe we aren't strong enough to move the sofa ourselves to like get the dust bunnies out of the way. Maybe we have really bad allergies and it hurts to breathe if we stir up the dust bunnies, right? But it's the seeing of it that's the first step. So seeing, oh, the reason I don't take care of myself is because it's unworthiness. That's what it is. It's unworthiness. I see that. I can't deal with that right now. I don't know how. I don't have the tools. I don't have the friends. I don't have the strength. But we saw it. That's the first step. Or if it's the fear of being hurt, it's fear. Okay, I got fear. Cool. I don't have the strength, the tools. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that. But seeing that shit, y'all, that's the first step. That's a huge first step in recovery, meaning recovering from yesterday, recovering from our childhood, recovering from the program that told us that we have to be a way that's like a robot, that's not really natural to the way humans work. You know, like seriously. So seeing that shit is key. So I just want to acknowledge you for seeing it, right? I'm glad I got here. This really neat. Yay! I know for the gas man. It's good stuff. I'm glad you're here too. So then, okay, so we have this thing. We've acknowledged it. We've shone. We have aimed the light on it. How about that? Past tense of shine. I feel like shined may be it, but that just sounds weird. Anyway, so we have taken this flashlight and we have shined it upon this nugget, right? We found where all the dust has settled, and it's fear. I'm going to use your example, Lisa, of the fear of being hurt. So actually, if I'm honest with myself, I'm afraid of being hurt. Okay. So then you know what the first step to do after that, because that's step one. Now we got another step one because it's all different steps and each step is the first step. So the next first step is to just love your ass, just to love you for being aware that you are afraid of being hurt again. Like that that you'll never hurt you anymore, that you're going to maybe make a new commitment to you in this now moment, that you're never going to hurt you again. You're never going to leave your side. And not only are you not going to leave your side, but you're going to take better care of you than you ever have. Because you've been hurting you for this long out of fear that someone else outside of you is going to hurt you. And fuck that noise. You're done with that. So now what you're going to do is you're going to start claiming this new devotion, which is the mind and the spirit working together. You are claiming this new devotion of taking care of yourself so that you're not only not going to be hurt, but you're going to be well tended, well cared for, well nourished, well loved, admired, honored. This is how we become the light, right? Once we shine the light, eventually we get to become the light. And next thing you know, we don't get hurt as much. We don't hold that fear anymore. It repels off of us. It's like putting a coat of wax on your car. Easy peasy. But y'all, I'm telling you, it's that seeing it first. Yeah, I love that. I accept this. Yeah, it's, you know, I've definitely gotten hurt in relationships. Okay. And for me, um, that's like what I'll do is like I'll hold myself and be like, wow, that was really messed up. They were a narcissistic sociopath. Those are fun. Don't recommend dating them ever. Anyway, but if I hold the fear that the next person I date is going to be a sociopathic narcissist, then I'm likely going to attract that. I don't want that. So I don't want to carry that fear, right? I don't want to carry that fear. If that fear, by me holding that fear, is actually like a magnet to all the other sociopathic narcissists coming in my field, I don't want that. So what I get to do is be like, I'm not going to be afraid of that. I'm going to love that I got to have that experience that time. And I am claiming that I'm never going to do it again because I'm going to learn to love me so much that if someone isn't loving me equally to the way I love myself, then they don't even come into my field. I'm not going to let them in. Hard no. Boundary, right? Hell no. Boundary. But when I dated the sociopathic narcissist, I was just like, I just want somebody. So the universe gave me somebody, right? I'm not here just to be with somebody. I'm here to be with me, a holy body, and another holy body that is in alignment with their body, their mind, and their spirit. Like that's what I'm all about. But I got to treat myself that way first, right? So it means that we get to look at those dark spots, the dust bunnies, and kind of see what's under there. And give ourselves a lot of grace, right? Oh, you married that somebody. Yeah, that was a commitment, Lisa. I didn't marry the person. Thank goodness. But I couldn't have married them anyway because they were in multiple other relationships. So they wouldn't have had time for that. It was a short term, long term. It was a long term, short term. Man, it was the longest, however many months that was. Boy, howdy. I love learning lessons. I love learning, right? And I will learn through like books and all this stuff. But like the way I really learn stuff, if I'm honest with myself, I learned through experience. Yep, had time. He was too, just wasn't clean inside or out. Yeah, a lot of us aren't. A lot of us have all these like dust bunnies, right? A lot of us are still holding on a lot of programs, a lot of fears, a lot of unworthiness, a lot of confusion, a lot of angst, a lot of unprocessed grief. Yeah, if you shine the light on your underneath your sofa, right, you're actually looking at like a pattern of behavior that you do to your body, right? Say it's say you don't eat, right? Say you have an unhealthy relationship with food and you choose to not eat. And if you really look at that and you're like, I'm just so sad, I just don't feel like eating. Okay, let's shine a light on the sadness. Well, I've had a lot of really bad stuff happen. I've had a lot of grief, I've had a lot of death around me. Okay, let's dive into that. Oh, I've had a lot of grief that I never had time to process because I had to hold it together for the family, or I had to go back to work too soon, right? So maybe that light shines on unprocessed grief. So maybe your dust bunnies are literally a bucket of grief that you've been carrying around forever. So then it's like, well, what do we do with that? Well, you love yourself for being able to hold that much grief. You just hold yourself for you holding that much grief. And you tell yourself that it's safe to feel it. And that you do deserve joy. That you deserve to feel grief and you deserve to feel joy. A lot of people that are stuck in depressions don't actually know that they deserve to feel good. That they deserve and are worthy of joy and love. And like that feeling, they literally don't know it. Once we know it, then we can start to make the decisions on how we treat ourselves that will align with that experience. It's just That's just the way the emotions run through the body. Lisa says, I couldn't see. I wanted that somebody right quicker. Yeah. Yeah. We want someone so fast, but I will be patient for the next whoever I get in a relationship with, because I'm in no rush at all. I like my relationship with myself, with my friends, with community. I love my relationship with the plants and the animals and the earth and all the things. Like, I'm going to enjoy the relationship with love nuggets. I'm not going to try to be in a relationship until I hone my love nugget self so much that they have to like match it, right? They got to match it. That's why it's so important for us to like look at these dust bunnies, right? It's so important for us to like shine a light on these dark spots, these patterns of behavior of our thoughts, or actions to our bodies that we do, whether it's we neglect it or we do things to abuse it. It's one or the other. We either abuse or we neglect. So then it's being real with ourselves and being like, well, what am I doing? What am I like? How am I neglecting myself? I'm neglecting myself from, my mom was on here and she mentioned eating healthy foods. Cool. I'm literally neglecting myself and the way I'm going to do that is by not eating healthy foods. That's a reality. No judgment, but being able to look at that and be like, wow, okay. Or maybe it's the abuse. Maybe I'm abusing myself because I am choosing to only eat honey buns and Twinkies all day, every day. That's all I'm going to eat. That's abuse. Our bodies literally can't process that. It would be delicious, don't get me wrong, until it's not. The body's going to react. That's a side note. Don't recommend it. But anyway, but asking ourselves, like, where am I abusing myself and where am I neglecting myself? Shine a light on that shit. Be real with yourself. Don't judge you for it. Please don't judge you for it. But what that's going to do is it's going to give you a lot more compassion and a lot more grace for yourself, and then you're going to have it for others. So when you see other people that are neglecting themselves or abusing themselves, you'll see that. Two, you'll see how they project that and do that to others, who they neglect. You'll see who they abuse, who they try to control and manipulate. You'll see how they become all of a sudden a victim. Oh, I'm a martyr. Whoa. Like, you'll see that in others and you won't hate them. You'll, in fact, feel more compassion for them and grace. And you'll just be like, oh, you just haven't found your dust bunnies. You're too afraid to be in the dark. You're too afraid to look at those places. You're choosing to look away. You're choosing to bypass the reality of you. And that's okay. No judgment on that. Not everyone was built with enough courage in their system to look at patterns of self-abuse. Yep, cobwebs and dust bunnies, right? That's exactly what they are. There's nothing bad about them, Like, I remember, like, I get cobwebs sometimes, like, the little things. I don't know where they come from. I'm like, where'd that come from? That wasn't here yesterday. Cool, knock it off. But I don't judge me thinking, oh my God, you're such a dirty person. How dare you have all these cobwebs in your house in the places that you can't reach normally and nobody's walking on the ceiling in the corner. Duh. Like, I don't get mad at me for having dust bunnies in the first place when really it's like dust settling in skin cells and hair that have literally just through my movement have pushed aside, because every time we walk we make a little trail that parts the things, so we end up not seeing them. They're not even bad things. They're just things that we get to see and acknowledge and clean up. Telling you, now's a great time to do that. This full moon, like, let that energy shine on what isn't a part of your, what is a part of your life that you don't want to be there anymore. Full moon is a great time to release this shit. Yeah, rearranging the dust. It really is, right? And sometimes I just want to clean it. Sometimes I'm done with it, right? It's like, if y'all saw, I have a desk and like have like journals and books and papers and receipts and it's everywhere. I can't throw that stuff away, but what I can do is I can rearrange it and make it look way nicer. Right? Yeah, fear be gone. Okay, Lisa. Okay, so say the thing that you notice is fear, right? What do you want to replace it with? I mean, I know that like new moon is like when we do intentions and stuff, but F that noise. Like we can do whatever we want. It's all now anyway. So we notice that this is fear, right? Or if it's someone else watching, you're like, mine was unworthiness. Mine was I neglect myself. Mine was I choose to abuse myself. Love. There you go. So now instead of me feeling fear, I'm going to acknowledge it when it comes up and be like, okay, I see you, fear. Okay, look at you. You fear love. Oh, you can't fear love because I'm going to replace fear with love. So now I'm just loving love. So, ooh, look at that fear, baby. I love that. Right? Because here's the thing, our bodies are going to tell us where to go if we are in danger. So, like, not saying fear is a bad thing, right? We all need to be afraid of a big black bear that's like running toward us. Yeah. But our body's going to let us know because our feet are going to literally move us in the other direction. We won't even think about that shit, right? It's just not, our bodies will take care of us when it comes to like fear in a healthful way. But if it's a mental fear of like being loved, if it's a mental fear of like, I'll get hurt again if I love, no, I'm going to love anyway and just let more love come to me. I love that you shared that. Thank you. So is there anyone else? I see that people are hopping on and stuff. And is there anything else that anyone would like to share about what you're finding out about yourself, what you're discovering about yourself, what you would like to release in the way you think or the way you treat yourself? And what would you like to replace it with? Yeah, I think we scared him away. Or we loved him away. I would much rather love people away than scare people away. Although, funny, yep, people get scared of the truth. That is some truth right there. People get so scared of love. People get scared of the truth. People get scared of boundaries. And that's okay. They're allowed to feel whatever they want. It's not up to me to change and mitigate who I am and speak truth out of fear that I might hurt someone. I know I come from a place of love and truth, and I'm speaking from vulnerability. And if it hurts somebody's feelings, well, it's a time for them to get to grow now, then, isn't it? Lisa says, get scared because people want to be loved so much. It scares them when they are, it scares them when they truly find it. Oh my God. Old me, man, I'm going to share this and then I'll hop off, but I had experienced a few relationships that the person legit loved me. Like old me, like new me, new me. I'm like, I feel your love. Oh my God, I'm crying. But like old me, I would be in a relationship and they would love me. And I didn't like that. I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was real. Because I was so used to that when people loved me, they would neglect me. That was how I believed love to be. I believed I was loved when I was neglected. And then someone would come back and be like, no, I love you. And then neglect me. And then come back and be like, see, I love you because I'm here right now. And then pull back and neglect. So when I had someone in my life that was like present and stayed present and was like, I love you. And I'm here. I was like, nah, that doesn't compute. That doesn't equate to what I've experienced. If you actually loved me, you would neglect me. So I had people that would love me and I would break up with them. I'd be like, I don't like you anymore. I've learned so much shit through relationships. They're the best. Man, I'm telling you what. One of the best ways to learn about yourself, if you feel like you're just like, I'm good, I'm golden, I don't have to, I'm perfect. We're all perfect, don't get me wrong. And if you ever want to feel like you can grow some, get in a relationship with anybody, right? Like commit to having a friend that you're going to spend quality time with. Have someone live with you for a while. Go live with someone for a while. Get in a partnership. Get in a conscious relationship where you both know that you're going to be growing together. That's some magic. That's good. It's good stuff. Not everybody's up for that game. Yeah, I felt that pain. Neglect is a funny one. Oh, neglect is such a funny experience that because neglect is a form of lack and you can't prove a negative. That's always been my thing. It's like I can prove what I did, but I can't prove what I didn't. And so neglect is a form of not, it's a form of nothing. So we can't even like prove neglect. So to actually shine a light on neglect is a really, it's not the easiest thing, but it's the most rewarding thing. It's being able to look underneath that sofa anyway with the flashlight. Cause as soon as we look, then we're not neglecting anymore. But if I'm just like, nope, it's fine. Nope, lights are always on. I'm never going to look under there. That is neglect. And it means that we're neglecting our body. If we're not going to look at actually how we treat our body. We're neglecting our mind by just letting our subconscious and unconscious mind run the show and not letting our higher mind, our thinking mind, actually think. And neglecting our spirit is we're neglecting love. We're neglecting joy, neglecting peace and harmony. So neglect is maybe together as a community, what we can maybe shine a light on neglect where we've neglected ourselves. And remember that every time you've neglected yourself, it's because somebody else did that shit before you, to you, and you just took it on as the truth. Every time you were neglected, that literally told you that it was good to be neglected. Like you were supposed to be neglected. You were worthy of neglect. That's not true. That's bullshit. So every time you neglect yourself, just remember, wait a minute. That's actually not me neglecting myself. That was my mother or my caregiver or my father or the system, whatever that was outside of you. They would neglected me. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to reclaim this ownership, this relationship with this body, this mind, and this spirit. So we can shining a light on the neglect. Pew! Those are 2 flashlights, if you're wondering. Anyway, or your husband. I'm guessing you have a different husband now. I don't know. Do you? Hopefully he's not the sociopathic narcissist that we were just talking about. If so, then hey, he's listening. Awkward. I doubt it. So enjoy this full moon. If you get a chance to go outside, it'll be in its bigness. We'll be able to see it if you don't have the clouds that are here now. Trying to do something about that at this time. Just keep going back to love. Let love guide your actions and your words. It's a practice. And take time to go out and look at the full moon. Just go out and see this big shining circle in the sky, this luminary that emits light, although they don't say that it does, but it does actually. Some people are victims. So it's interesting. We all have experienced victimization, but only some choose to be the victim and to stay in that victim consciousness of, it's just, oh God, look at all these bad things that happened. It's like, no, like check all this shit out. This stuff bad happened. Look how cool this is. I was able to go through this like crazy stuff. It's funny. Anyway, I'm so happy that y'all were here joining me. And next week I'll be back at the hub. So if you're in Charlotte and you want to join these conversations about the body, the mind, and the spirit, please do. It's at 11:30 at 2224 The Plaza, Promise Resource Network. So come and join me. I would love to have you all there with me if you can. And I appreciate you joining online. I love when you add your comments and your energy. So even when I'm at the hub, like your energy and your input, like it adds to the mix. It adds because it just feels good. So thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Thank you so much, everybody. Lisa, thank you for participating so much. I appreciate it, truly. Again, I would have just been talking to myself. I can do that and much prefer to have you here. So thank you all so much. Go drink a lot of water today. Get outside if you can. Even if it's misty, just go out there and feel the mist on your skin. And maybe create a new relationship with your body, your mind, and your spirit in some type of way that's more loving, kind, and gentle. So I love you all, and I'll see y'all. Actually, tune in this Thursday for, Friday. Tune in Friday at, it's Friday afternoon. I think it's 3:00. I want to say 3:30, but I feel like it's 3:00. Expansions. It's the spiritual dimension of wellness. So tune into that. And leave comments on that because I love to see what you all share. So I love you all. I will see y'all soon. Okay. Bye. I was talking.